Welcome back to Medicine Made Easy with me, Kavya Tendral. Now we will be discussing about the RMNCH plus C strategy in community medicine, and this is part 4. If you have not watched the part 1, 2, and 3, the video link is in the description. You can check it out. And if you have not subscribed our channel, do subscribe for more interesting videos like this, and as well press the bell icon so that you receive regular video updates. You can share this video to your friends that we will learn together, and I have made this video to more interesting with new stories and ideas which is present inside. Without further delay, let us start our discussion on adolescent health program first. Basically, to remember adolescent health program, we need to know what does an adolescent health is concentrated on. Having known that the adolescent health need is very diverse, there have been a comprehensive adolescent health strategy which is developed. And under that, we have some priorities which is given for the adolescent health, and that is the nutrition, the non-communicable disease, substance abuse, sexual reproductive health, mental health, gender-based violence. Okay, so to remember it, just a small mnemonic. So Mrs. NCD is malnourished. You can take NC some name whatever. So Mrs. NCD is malnourished and under substance abuse. So M for mental health, R for reproductive and sexual health, Mrs. that is gender-based, some gender right, so gender-based violence, NCD that is non-communicable disease, malnourished nourishment that is nutrition relating, and substance abuse. Then, so this is some mnemonic which is basically the priority for adolescent under this strategy. So supposing think this is the priority. This adolescent has to pass through the stages of adolescence, and on that process he or she can be affected by malnutrition, substance abuse disorder, any non-communicable disease because of the lifestyle changes, many sexual and reproductive problems, mental issues, gender-based violence. To protect that, there have been then priority intervention. Right. So now coming to the story. So basically, there is a raining, and this is the issues to be addressed. That is the priority. The adolescent has to go through this. But think, if she or he is going through this, she may be flooded out to an unexpected, unwanted place also. Her life may be pathetic. So we have to do a particular intervention. That is the priority intervention. Here, these are all the priorities. Okay, so we have to do a priority intervention and take this as an umbrella. It's raining, so she has to go through. He has to go through this area. By doing a priority intervention, he or she has an increased resilience to resist the negative behavior. Basically, resilience means the capacity to recover quickly, like that. Okay, so it increases the resilience to resist the negative behavior so that this adolescent can have a leading role or to play a role as an individual, as a family, in a family, and then in a school and in community. So this is the importance of the intervention, priority intervention. What are the priority interventions? So whatever the priority health need for adolescent is, where the priority intervention is also. One is nutrition and IFA supplement, that is iron folic acid supplementation for nutrition problem. ARSS, that is adolescent reproductive sexual health clinic, that is facility based service, okay, for sexual reproductive mental health, menstrual hygiene, information and counseling, preventive health checkups for NCDs, right? So just like this, these are all the preventive priority intervention. Now let us discuss each priority intervention in detail. First is Adolescent Reproductive and Sexual Health Program, ARSH. So basically what is going to do, it is going to reorganize the existing public health system. It is trying to reorganize the public health system. It means what? The entire public is involved. It means the community is also to be involved in this process. When it is being involved, and there should be a fixed time and fixed date, right? So at this time, at this date, uh, the care, that is the adolescent sexual and reproductive health issues are being addressed, but addressed where? At the subcenter, PHC, community health center, or district hospitals at a fixed time in a fixed day for both men, for boys, adolescent girls also. But how this is by a programmatic approach. See, already the adolescents are in a very confused state, okay, because they are experiencing new things which is happening in and around. How to bring them to the healthcare facility? Simple. See, this is an adolescent, this is an healthcare worker. Consider this healthcare worker is approaching very friendly to that adolescent, counseling and asking to go to hospital or is treating and whatever. Now this healthcare worker usually should be in a hospital, but now he's coming to where? To the community. That is an outreach activity is being done. So have this idea and come back. What is the programmatic approach? One is an adolescent friendly health clinic. Next is capacity building, because this healthcare worker has to live somewhere. So for him, capacity building for the service providers, outreach activities, counseling, and by the dedicated ARSH clinics and ICTC counseling. This is the programmatic approach. So by this programmatic approach, this actually enables adolescent to seek the healthcare. Now, after seeking the healthcare on a fixed time and date, what are the core packages which is given? It is the promotive, preventive, curative, and counseling services are being given in the adolescent reproductive sexual health program only. Now, coming to adolescent friendly health clinic. Now, what is being done there? Simple. Just routine health checkup at primary, secondary, tertiary healthcare center on fixed days, and the services related to the contraception, STI or RTI, that is reproductive or sexual transmitted infections, ENC, and menstrual problem and anemias. So, service related to that is being done in AFHC. Coming to facility-based counseling services, it is basically there will be a trained, dedicated IRSH counselors or ICTC counselors, which they will be addressing about the sexual and reproductive health issues. This trained and dedicated ARSH counselors will be addressing all the issues which we have already discussed previously, and so on. And coming to the outreach activity, what are the outreach activities they'll be doing in the school, college, teen clubs, training centers, vocational training centers? But when do they go? During a village health nutrition day or health melas, or with the example of with the help of self help groups. So by this, the outreach activities are being done. This is all about adolescent reproductive sexual health program. What it does, when it does, how it does, and so on. Next, we are continuing with the weekly iron and folic acid supplementation. This is very simple. See, basically there were high prevalence of anemia among adolescent girls and boys, so that Ministry of Health and Family Welfare launched this weekly iron and folic acid supplementation. And by that, there is two things which is acid. One is short term and another is long term effect benefits. In short term, it improves the nutrition status of that adolescent. In long term, what it does, it actually breaks the intergenerational cycle of anemia. It means there was one pregnant woman and she is anemic. If she is not addressed, if the anemia is not addressed in the women, if she is not treated for that, the child will be having anemia and child will grow with anemia. This is called intergenerational cycle of anemia. This intergenerational cycle of anemia is broken by weekly iron folic acid supplementation. This is a long-term benefit. But how? By administering 100 grams of elemental iron and 500 micrograms of um, folic acid. So 100 mg of elemental iron and 500 micrograms of folic acid on weekly fixed days by supervised administration is given done. Next is screening the target groups, especially for moderate and severe anemia, and referring to the institutions. And then we know there are parasitic infestations that is causing anemia. So for that, we are giving tablet albendazole 400 milligram biannually. That means 6 months once. These tablets are given. And at last, information and counseling. They should be said about what are the diet which is rich in iron, and prevention of intestinal worm infestations. Like they have to wear, they need not walk on barefoot. They have to wear the chaparrals and so on. These are some key interventions under weekly iron folic acid supplementation. Now coming to the menstrual hygiene scheme. This menstrual hygiene scheme is basically launched by again Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It is to promote the menstrual hygiene among 10 to 19 years old age adults and girls in rural areas. Now, what this scheme actually does is it gives adequate knowledge and information about menstrual hygiene to the adolescent girls and access to high quality sanitary napkins and safe disposal mechanisms. Is going to teach the adolescent girls. Now, what are the interventions we can do? Simple. Just remember, this is one healthcare worker and this is the adolescent in the community. So she is going to issue the sanitary napkins. Have this in mind. Now, what actually happens? What are the interventions being done is one, community-based health education. Now, this is the napkin. You need to use this, and this time you need to use this. She is going to explain. So, community-based health education and outreach center to the target population to promote menstrual health. Number one. Number two, she is going to give that she is actually that Asha. So this Asha, the nodal teachers, has to be trained for the menstrual health. Next, she has to ensure the regular availability of the sanitary napkins to the adolescent. A sanitary napkin has to be available if the sourcing and procurement of that should be proper. If it is proper, then that should be stored and distributed to the adolescent girls. At last, that is the women, the adolescent girl has to be educated about the safe disposal of sanitary napkins. First is promote the menstrual health, regular availability, sourcing, procurement, storage and distribution, safe disposal of sanitary napkins, and training of this ASHA and nodal teachers. And with this, we are completing the adolescent health program. If you like this video, you can share this to your friends so that we'll all learn together and we will all meet in the next video. Till then, stay tuned. Bye bye.